Hello and welcome to a brief overview of the Money Ledger program for USA truck drivers with IFTA. In this video, you'll see how you can easily keep track of all your business and personal expenses, your revenue, and your IFTA with this ledger. Let's take a brief look at the program and enter some transactions. The screen you're looking at now is the monthly screen. At the top left, you can see that it's January, and at the bottom, you can see there's one tab for every month. On the left side of the screen is where you make your income and expense entries. Then on the right side of the screen are two summary statements automatically being populated. The first summary is for a trucking and personal income and expense statement, and the second summary is for your trucking only. Below these, you have a payment type summary for the month, showing how much you're spending on each payment type, a transfer between accounts, and any unreconciled entries that you can use this handy little report with your paper statements when they come in the mail, and we'll show you that in a minute. Okay, the next screen we have is the setup screen. In the setup screen, you simply put in all your expense categories here, and you can customize them any way you wish. And then to the right of the expense categories, we have split percentages. So for example, if you have a home office and you want to expense 10% to trucking and 90% to personal on home office expenses, you can simply set up the ratios here and use a split class when you make your entries, and the program will do the math for you, and we'll show you how that works. Also with your meal expenses, if you want to expense 80% to trucking and 20% to personal, put in your ratios and use split class when making those entries. To the left, we have items to appear on trucking financial statement. So you have an item that you wish to appear on a trucking financial, you would simply choose the check mark right there and it'll show up for you. If you don't want it showing up, just leave it blank. Top left, you can change the year and copy this program and use it year after year. Put in the name of your trucking business there if you like. Put in the type of accounts or payment methods that you're using here, and below that you can simply choose a different financial year if you like. So if your financial year starts in March, just simply choose it, hit submit, and your program will be reformatted for you in a couple seconds. Once you've got your setup screen the way you like it, click save and you're good to go. And then finally we have a year-to-date screen, and here it shows you year-to-date business only report, year-to-date business and personal. And then we have 4 quarterly reports across here, and these are all being populated for you automatically. Okay, let's do a couple of entries. 3rd of January, we have a Visa, and it's going to be for trucking. And let's say it was diesel fuel, and we have Exxon, and it's $380. Okay, your entry is done. Let's do another entry. 4th of January. Something going into our savings account, and it's for trucking income, and we put in a note of any kind you want, and we put in the amount. All set. On the right side you can see what's going on. Everything's being populated for you on your statements right there. And let's say 5th of January, and this time we're going to do something on a split, and we're going to record our meal expense. And we go down to meals, and we can say it's Denny's, and it's $15, and that entry is done. And we go down to meals, you can see how that bill split out between the total, and the trucking portion was $12 and the personal was $3, and was split 80-20 just as we wanted in our setup screen. When we scroll to the right, you can see that there's a trucking only statement being shown here with the net balance for the month. You can see how much you're paying on your Visa card for the month, and you have 3 unreconciled items, so that if you want to, when your paper statements come in the mail, you simply go through them and check off the ones that you see. And I got that one, and you see them on your statements, and all your reconciliations are done. And we have a separate video on how to do reconciliations, so you can get more detail there. If you had an expense that was not in US currency, and let's say you're up in Canada, you simply choose Canadian dollars here, and then later you can put in the conversion amount when you get your bank statement and then show that you've reconciled it like that. Okay, and finally we have our IFTA returns. And so you can use these little quarterly reports to log your fuel purchases and your miles in different states and provinces, and it'll produce a quarterly fuel tax summary for you on the right there. And we have a separate video on this also, which I would recommend you watch next to get an idea of how this would work. Okay, that's really all there's to it. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you found the video helpful.